Two of them landed on a slope and ended up rolling toward the Red River, and both of their feet and part of their legs were in the river.
Rescue crews battled the rain this morning to save 3 people who fell off a cliff. Tonight, we'll show you the video of the dangerous rescue. And we're learning more about a teenager killed in a crash in Madison County last night. Plus, Lexington police are trying to track down the person who they say fired shots in a Lexington neighborhood, damaging several homes.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 11.
Good evening. Thanks for staying up late with us. I'm Sean Moody in for Kristen Kennedy. It was a terrifying fall for 3 hikers in Wolfe County this morning. Rescue crews battled the rain to get to them after they fell 50 feet off a cliff. Crews say all 3 people were hiking in the Red River Gorge at the time of that fall. The hikers were told all have serious injuries. And as WKYT's Sam Smith found out, crews faced several challenges this morning during that rescue. He has our top story at 11.
We got a call just after midnight from Saturday into Sunday morning.
Because 3 hikers fell. Officials don't know what they were doing in the Red River Gorge this weekend, but they know where they found them, at the bottom of a cliff that's 50 feet high.
2 of them landed on a slope and ended up rolling toward the Red River, and both of their feet and part of their legs were in the river. By the time we got to them, they were all hypothermic and severely injured and in pain. The 3rd person was the most injured, who lost her consciousness twice while we were there.
Crews from Wolfe, Powell, and Menifee counties assisted in the search. In fact, they shot video of the hikers being removed.
We have no footage on this side, guys.
There was some brush and some trees on the edge of the cliff, so it's possible that they were unable to see what was on the other side of it, and since it had been raining off and on all day, everything was pretty slick.
Michael Hackett with Wolfe County Search and Rescue says alcohol may have played a role here. He says the 3 injured hikers were taken to a hospital in Clark County.
I really do have to say that the effort with everybody involved, not just the rescuers and the law enforcement involved, but also the folks that were with them, was pretty extreme, and we'd like to thank everybody for their effort.
In Wolfe County, Sam Smith, WKYT.
There were more than 30 people involved in today's rescue. The Madison County coroner has identified a teenager killed in a crash early this morning. The coroner says 19-year-old Joseph Kramer died when his car ran into an embankment on Tates Creek Road. Police tell us a Richmond firefighter discovered the scene this morning on his way home from work and called police.
I seen him sitting there. I hollered at him. I shook the vehicle. No response. So I immediately notified 911 by radio.
We're told Kramer was a student athlete at Eastern Kentucky University. Funeral arrangements have not yet been set. Police are trying to figure out who fired shots in a Lexington neighborhood last night. People living on Scottsdale Circle said they heard gunshots last night and woke up to find bullet holes in their cars and their homes. Neighbors say they're just thankful no one was hurt.
First he thought it was fireworks, and then all of a sudden it was just like boom, 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 boom. And he said he told his son and him, they got on the floor and they crawled, and then he said he looked out and he seen people hiding behind his house, and he said it was people running, and he said it was just like the Wild West.
The police did take a teenager in for questioning, but so far have not arrested anyone. And tonight we've learned that police are investigating another shots fired case here in Lexington. Police tell us a vehicle on Whispering Hills Drive was hit with bullets 4 times and a house was hit twice. No one was injured, but police say the homeowner was inside that house at the time. Police haven't made any arrests in this case either. State police say 1 man is dead tonight after a crash in Hardin County. That crash happened around 6 o'clock this evening on the Bluegrass Parkway near Elizabethtown. Troopers say the crash involved a motorcycle and a minivan, and according to a Louisville TV station, the motorcyclist died there at the scene, while the driver of the minivan had to be rescued. That person's injuries are unknown at this time, and police are still trying to figure out exactly what caused the crash. If you're headed out to work or the bus stop tomorrow morning, you might want to bring an umbrella. We are tracking some more showers moving into the area for the work work week. WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell is here with an early look at the forecast. Hey, Jim.
And it looks like we could run into some decent amounts of rainfall as well. Not so much tomorrow morning, but as we progress through time here, once we get into Tuesday and Wednesday especially, a lot of moisture coming our way. Not a lot of moisture out there tonight as far as rain is concerned. We have a ton of cloud cover hanging out with us. For folks out there like me, like Sean, that were trying to see that lunar eclipse, great difficulty with some of the thickening clouds over the past hour or so here in Lexington. Other spots seeing it here and there, but it's very spotty in nature where you find some thinner stuff. Mid and upper 60s are showing up, 70 in Somerset and also in London, still holding on to some of that warmth. Showers are showing up all around us, and we're going to see some try to feed in again just off the East Coast as we go into the day tomorrow. But our main focus will be the Gulf of Mexico, as it's going to be pushing in a lot of water. Rain returns on Monday, and what I mean by that is we're going to have a good solid chance of some scattered showers. Tuesday, it becomes more widespread as we likely get in on some of those heavier totals, and then some very cool changes once we get toward the end of the week. We'll see highs fall into the 60s. With 40s at night. Whew, some tough fall stuff coming your way. We'll track it here in just a few minutes.
Jim, thank you. The son of country music star Eddie Montgomery has died. 19-year-old Hunter Montgomery died this morning at UK's Chandler Hospital. Eddie Montgomery released a statement today saying, quote, "My son Hunter went to heaven today. I appreciate all your prayers and love, and thank you for giving us privacy as we grieve and say goodbye." The family has not released any more information about their son's death. It just said that Hunter was on life support at UK Hospital. Pope Francis is en route to the Vatican following his 10-day tour of Cuba and the United States. Many Catholics say that his visit has renewed their faith in the church. Marley Hall has more from Philadelphia, where the Pope wrapped up his trip.
Pope Francis waved farewell at the airport in Philadelphia as he boarded a plane for Rome. Vice President Joe Biden led the U.S. delegation to see him off. The Pope made a final request to end his historic visit to the U.S.
Do not let your enthusiasm for Jesus, his church, our families, and the broader family of society run dry.
At the beginning of his last day, Francis met with sex abuse survivors and vowed that those responsible would be held accountable.
Continúa abrumándome la vergüenza.
I remain overwhelmed with shame that men entrusted with the tender care of children violated these little ones and caused grievous harm. Barbara Doris, an abuse victim, wants the Pope to do more.
This guy's a monarch, an absolute monarch. If he says they're gone, they're gone.
Hundreds of thousands of people celebrated a late afternoon mass with the Holy Father.
Faith grows when it is practiced, and it is shaped by love.
Cell phones captured Francis's trip to mass down the Ben Franklin Parkway. An emotional moment for one woman.
God bless you.
Many felt personally touched by the Holy Father.
Each one of us could say, his message of truth, of joy, of love is for me.
Pope Francis will land in Rome after an overnight flight. This evening, church officials announced that the next World Meeting of Families will be held in Ireland, which has had some of the worst sex abuse scandals and recently legalized same-sex marriage. Marley Hall, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Before he left tonight, Pope Francis also expressed his gratitude to about 400 leaders of the World Meeting of Families, supporters, and other volunteers who helped organize his trip to Philadelphia. It was a heartwarming dedication for a Lexington family this morning. The Zalamba family moved to Lexington in 2012 after living in a refugee camp in Zambia for years. With the help of Habitat for Humanity and several other organizations, the Zalamba family worked to build the house here in Lexington. Today, they finally got the keys to their brand new home. Organizers say the families have to fulfill several requirements to be able to participate in that program.
The family has to do, two-adult family has to do 500 hours of sweat equity, and part of that is working on their own home. Actually, 100 hours have to be on their own home. The rest they get with education and working on other people's homes.
Organizers say it can take between 18 and 24 months to complete the process of getting a family a new home. Habitat for Humanity partnered with United Methodist and UPS for this project. Welcome back. 2 days after his stunning resignation announcement, House Speaker John Boehner sat down for an exclusive interview with John Dickerson on CBS's Face the Nation. Boehner described in emotional terms his decision to leave Congress. He also described how he plans to avoid a government shutdown in just 4 days. Craig Boswell is in Washington with more.
In an exclusive interview on CBS Face the Nation, House Speaker John Boehner said his final 30 days in Congress will not include a government shutdown.
There going to be a shutdown?
No. Boehner has been under intense pressure from conservatives demanding a budget that takes funding away from Planned Parenthood and demanding his ouster if he didn't agree. Boehner spoke about that in his resignation announcement Friday.
I don't want to put my colleagues through all this.
Boehner says some private words from Pope Francis during this week's Capitol Hill visit confirmed his decision.
I would repeat them, except it would really cause me to cry.
Wiping away tears, the House Speaker offered this advice to his successor.
Just do the right things for the right reasons.
Boehner's decision to step down won't calm the chaos surrounding his replacement. A group of conservative lawmakers who pressured the Speaker released this statement saying they've not decided who they'll support. The new Speaker will need 218 votes to get the job, and Boehner's last day is October 30th. As for how he wants to be remembered,
he was a good man.
That's it.
That's all.
Congress has until Wednesday to pass a budget to keep the government running. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Washington.
Deputies in southeastern Kentucky are investigating a deadly crash. The Bell County Sheriff's Office says the wreck happened overnight on Highway 190. We're told only one vehicle was involved, but there were two people inside that vehicle when it crashed. The Bell County coroner says 46-year-old Ernie Lee Parton died in that crash. The condition of the other person is not known. Deputies have not said what caused that vehicle to crash. Deputies in Carter County are searching for a teenager who's been missing for more than 3 weeks now. 15-year-old Savannah Meadows was last seen around 11:30 on the night of September 4th when she went to bed. Meadows is 5'2" and weighs 115 pounds. Deputies say that when Meadows went missing, she had dyed platinum hair with yellow tips. The Bluegrass got a little taste of Eastern European and Middle Eastern cultures today. The 25th annual St. Andrew's Heritage Festival kicked off in Lexington this weekend. People had the chance to taste food from places like Lebanon, Palestine, Russia, and Serbia. Organizers say this event is a way to teach people about other cultures.
We try to educate them year in, year out. We have tours, regular tours, as well as education in the church through our father, the priest, and so we try to educate them on the religion as well as just the festival itself.
The event also had performances including folk dances and concerts. It was a heartwarming reunion for a man and his dog this morning. The Wolfe County Rescue Squad helped recover the dog after hikers spotted him on a cliff Friday night. Crews say that dog had been there for several days. The dog's owner posted on Facebook today thanking the rescue squad for reuniting him with his #1 hound. Happy ending there. Good to see.